Good evening, relatives. Tonight I'm going to be cold reading from The Curse of the Industrial Speedway and the Telephone Boogie by Dennis Jayson Charles. There's the cover. It's copyright 2002. I'm exercising fair use by reading these poems. I take no credit, nor do I make a profit from these pieces. There's a little bit of information that other credits I should give before I get into this. Cover art by Dibs. Internal art by Dave Laszlo. And this is made in Mission, BC. So I obviously picked this chapbook up somewhere local. And I'll start with the first, and I'll read the first and the last and something from in between, but not in that order. Worms and Wagons by Dennis Jayson Charles. What happened to the happiness or joy when I was boy eating worms with wagons whole like the milk I spilt on my fresh, clean crotch? I was not to watch dirty movies or say the word fuck, but I had my truck, my dreams, everything I wanted, it seems. I was going to be a fireman and shoot things in space, and I would throw burgers, twist my face. Sorry I was late for craft dinner. Mom is thinner like paper again. Always eating with my dirty hands, oblivious to everything in other lands, knowing nothing but Disney culture and race. Always scaring Mom's boyfriends away from our place. Hot-tempered, so afraid of my darkest closets, where the monsters laid when my bed talked, the creek walked. I would carry on with my bike, my friend Mike, then the world seemed so beautiful. And that was Worms and Wagons. And what'd that take? Not 2 minutes yet. Okay. Here's one about Alberta. In Alberta, the wheat no longer dances upon chicken breath nor dinosaur wind, but men gather to spend long mornings anticipating weather. Orange clouds skim high above where fuel is sucked dry to feed us children of the gasoline. The bugs now dirty nomads, their breakfast genetically mutated in the sentences of cancer. Can anyone do the math, then feed it to a starving farmer? Nitrogen is not our savior. We are the pesticide, the genocide, the experiment of corporate behavior. How we're born to feed, to react like weeds so they can clone our dreams, patent our seeds. Where do we grow now when money meets disaster? Where do we grow now? I can't find any laughter. I like this guy. Here's another one, a little nationalistic something, and I'm going to celebrate by lighting up my talking stick here. I forgot about it. Breakfast for a bureaucrat. Oh, Canada, how can we live in the shadows of America? We're like a damp cloth to wipe their guns as they pave our roads to drive their ballistic erections. We gargle their news like it was on our side of this crazy border, eating their refuse like it's our own pile of shit they created. Go on, sell our forests, give them our water, we'll just buy it back from them to pay for their armor, where they can start another useless war because their heads are sore for more. We are the slaves who signed free trade, forced to be a hooker to sell our souls to corporate America, where they feed us on this Hollywood cheese. They want our power to make us starve, to make us bleed, so they grow stronger, like a dog in heat. They will globalize, democratize, while they rape and feed. Soon in Canada will we be able to breathe. Such a weak country we are bullying. Such a weak country we are buying into such bully fashion. Do we have any passion, any sense of self, or will we consume like America to decay from their dis-ease? Please tell me we have a stance, that we have a chance, because in this country, do we have a choice? Do we have a voice? In America, it takes them 2 months to falsely elect another puppet for president. Flip through a little bit. Don't know that guy. Don't know that guy. Roadkill. This will be a happy piece. I'm thinking of a warm room with maybe a fire or a place to rest an exhausted head between comfortable breasts. There's a nice idea. Only a few miles from here there is food where animals feast upon tourists, shuffle Standing on the road, my thumb stretched in anticipation, waiting a ride to somewhere at some time someone might just happen to like my smile and let me join the lonely ride. Never before have I craved such a car with a heater, a need for a human to be human. I've counted the cars for hours here, the scared little people peering from their windows, glancing from the corner of their eyes, listening to the radio as they pass in the fear of the unknown. Once again, I'm the one who looks stupid, soaking wet in the middle of nowhere, gambling myself in such a cold world, dreaming of a sandwich or a ride straight on through to the next lonely corner. I have sang every song, talked to every tree, drowned my frustration in the minutes where I thought I always wanted to be, but now only believing in the world as a wasteful paradise. And how many people, single in their cars, driving somewhere to spend another weekend escaping. I'm thinking that I have no choice but to stand here patiently to wait amongst the weather, or maybe peel some oranges, to watch the hours float desperately by. And that was Roadkill by Dennis Jayson Charles. What are we at? 6 minutes? More death. This should be happy. A fly in the madness. Sitting along the stair in a 3-foot square out there, you know, where really have I gone? Does it matter? I'm just watching the movie like a fly in the madness of the tobacco-stained walls, limbs deep in the dream of it all. A piece of the puzzle running around on this sacred ground where everybody's everyone when we touch, when we feel. Everything else seems so real, like red lights are not go in this language we know, working all day for some hope, for some pay with nails or daisies. Maybe we're all crazy in our game show ghettos, filling our voids. Parentheses, consumption. Us creatures always looking for a way to smack our veins, then dip our pampers in the restless waters of greed while we talk, while we hurry along the surface of hungry seasons, wandering on trains of endless thought. Words flow like lost rivers, ideas rise like cheap emperors in the rubble streets. We're like dirty kings, comfortable in our castles of pocket change fantasies that even sing, that even scream in the mustards of cheap labor. 3 shots for another slaughter. Romeo in a spray can, sneezing our love, bleeding stains in the weekends of change or the whispers of others. But don't worry, Mommy, I'm all right in this carnival of mad traders, like a welcoming color of a starving candle in the puss of another generation, and the scars of the past, the price of our future, filling the teacups, scattered on counters, sliced with hurt, chopped of reason, trying to peel some truth of forgiveness, eaten by the whole core of us all. Well, he really ran that metaphor, didn't he? Still a pretty nice piece. It jumps. And this one's untitled by Dennis Jayson Charles. Sometimes I forget I'm a poet when I'm dancing or eating or washing the old walls of somebody else's mold, when I'm drinking or thinking or... pause for effect. When I'm drinking or thinking or working to slave myself away, where have my thoughts left me in these days of change? Strangeness invades my head like a hungry soldier. The hours they fly by in days of distractions. Was school the bitch who preys on my dead friends? I'm lost in all the promises. Our sentences, partners in crime, wandering, jobless again. For who really do I trust but my words anyway? Existential angst. Ain't we got enough of that? And we're coming up on 9 minutes. I'm going to see what the last piece is in here and see if I can read it out in a minute. Paradigm shift. With our hands together, we can build long arms, constructive bodies of change that walk together, speaking the lost words of gathering tribes to bring about a new meaning, a way to sustain ourselves, protecting us from our own beastly culture. Can we help when we're afraid of each other? Can we do anything when we exist so far apart? Can we transcend the barriers to live by such new myths? We are swimming in the archetypes of change, bathing in the symbols of transformation. Can we enter the village of the vegetable mind only to save ourselves? For we are all one. There are children in our future. We are all one, and there are children in our future. This is from The Curse of the Industrial Speedway and the Telephone Boogie, poems by Dennis Jayson Charles. Hopefully, somehow, sometime soon, this will get around the internet and he'll see it and he'll actually enjoy it and perhaps be thankful. Thank you. Have a good evening.